Every year we push through winter, defying the cold with light and heat. But imagine if we couldn't. Imagine if a deep biological command forced all of humanity into a great slumber, silencing our cities and rewriting the rules of what it means to survive. And let's find the answer to the question, what if? A world requiring human hibernation would fundamentally reshape our physical environments, particularly our settlements and structures. Instead of individual homes designed for year-round living, specialized, secure, and climate-controlled communal shelters, dubbed Great Dens or sleep vaults, would become paramount. These vital hibernacula would be built deep underground or into mountainsides, maximizing insulation and safety for extended dormancy. Our settlements would become seasonal. During active months, bustling marketplaces and workshops would thrive. However, come pre-hibernation, efforts would shift to provisioning and preparing these sleep vaults, leaving towns deserted under winter's grip. Given prolonged periods of human dormancy, sophisticated, robust automation would be absolutely vital. Systems for air purification, temperature regulation, pest control, and basic security would need to function autonomously for months, perhaps years, without direct human intervention, ensuring the sleeper's survival. The very pulse of human society would beat to the rhythm of the hibernation cycle, profoundly defining our economy and social structures. The awake months would transform into a hyper-focused sprint for survival, a relentless race against time to gather and preserve enough resources for the long sleep. Agriculture would be seasonally explosive, while advanced food preservation techniques, hunting, and foraging would be paramount technologies. Society would organize around this cyclical imperative. Specialized watchers, perhaps the young, old, or genetically predisposed to shorter sleep, would emerge to oversee the slumbering populace and critical infrastructure. The start and end of hibernation wouldn't just be biological events, they'd be the year's most significant cultural touchstones. Elaborate awakening festivals would mark the resurgence of life, celebrating warmth, renewed purpose, and forging deep communal bonds rooted in shared survival and the anticipation of deep rest. Over millennia, our bodies would profoundly adapt to hibernation. We'd develop greater natural fat reserves and a metabolism incredibly efficient at maximizing calorie absorption. Thicker skin or even fur-like hair might emerge for insulation, while bones and muscles would evolve resilience against extended inactivity. Mentally, months of unconsciousness would reshape us. Dreams could form a collective subconscious narrative, altering our very perception of time. Beyond physiology, deep-seated instincts would emerge. A primal dread of winter, an insatiable autumn urge to gather, and an explosive spring energy. These would dictate our social fabric and individual drives, echoing the ancient wisdom of the long sleep within our very being. A world of hibernating humans profoundly alters global dynamics. Our presence across the globe would be dictated by climate. Regions with harsh, prolonged winters would host sparse, highly organized populations in stark contrast to temperate zones supporting denser, more complex societies. Equatorial areas, potentially immune to hibernation's demands, might emerge as unique, ever-awake hubs, connecting the dormant world. International relations would become a delicate dance of sleep diplomacy, with nations operating on staggered schedules. Treaties governing trade, migration, and defense would meticulously account for long periods of national dormancy, even dictating seasonal rhythms for any potential conflict. This cyclical existence would fundamentally reshape the pace of progress. Innovation would unfold in intense, vibrant bursts during active periods, interspersed with prolonged stretches of global stasis. Crucially, addressing global challenges like climate change would be viewed through a lens of seasonal impact and long-term survival, rather than continuous, immediate action. But beyond the fundamental act of sleeping, human hibernation would profoundly redefine our ingenuity, purpose, and spirit. Our technological advancements would be singularly focused on survival, pioneering advanced food preservation methods, crafting sophisticated climate control for sleep vaults, developing automated vital sign monitoring, and perfecting safe awakening systems. Continuous communication or rapid transit during dormant phases would be secondary to robust, long-term autonomy. This cyclical existence would forge a unique philosophy. Life's brevity would be measured in awake seasons, shifting emphasis from constant growth to sustainable, rhythmic living. The powerful anticipation of awakening or the primal dread of deep sleep would profoundly shape our art, stories, and spiritual beliefs. Humanity would be defined not by incessant action, but by its extraordinary resilience to conquer the long, silent winter, celebrating the triumph of life after profound rest. Human hibernation would redefine life, reshaping society, biology, and our purpose, intertwining intense activity with deep rest. In your opinion, what if humans had to hibernate like bears? Share your thoughts in the comments.